My granddaughter and I have been making these lovely prints, and it reminded me that I showed you how to make them a little while ago with a piece of card and some pieces of washi tape. You could always use strips of cut up jelly plate papers. So if you'd like to know how I made these, then carry on watching and all will be revealed. Okay, so let's talk about how these were made. Well, first of all, I've put them on different types and weights of paper. This one here is just on card, so just on a craft card. It's quite pliable, but it is quite sturdy. This one here and this one is on a mount board, so that is even more sturdy. But as long as you use paper that's got some weight to it, you should be absolutely fine. I tend to favour, as you can see, a square mount. I did that with my photography. I always tended to do square format images, and in this case I've done the same here. But on my example that I'm going to show you today, I'm going to use a rectangle, and this is canvas board. If you don't have canvas board, it really doesn't matter, as long as you use a piece of paper that's got some weight to it. So that is where we start with a base to make our lovely collage. I'm quickly jumping in just to show you my new backgrounds and to remind you that you can get them from off my website. These are unique backgrounds, and if you would like to use them in your very own projects, then head off to my website and you'll be able to find out more information on how you can download them. So have you guessed how I made these? Well, I'm sure the more seasoned crafters amongst you will have already worked it out. The obvious answer is I've used washi tape. I've had this one for a while. I will leave the details in the information below. As you can see, a couple have already been totally used. But I've got these today and I'm going to see how these shape up. Again, I'll leave the details for you. I bought them off Amazon, from Amazon. I'm in the UK, so whether or not you can get the exact type of washi tape where you live, if you're outside of the UK, I obviously couldn't guarantee that, but it really doesn't matter what type of washi tape you use, as long as it's pretty colourful. So we have that one there, and I have this one here, another one. This is supposed to have been very much like Monet, but the colours seem a little bit darker than Monet's colours, but nonetheless they are very pretty. So what I'm going to do is to start looking at these colours, and I'm going to lay them down onto my canvas board. The idea isn't to be too thoughtful about what you're going to put down. It's just go for it. If you like the colour and you think it sits nicely next to the colour above and below it, then just go for it. So I'm going to just move these around a little bit more to make myself some space, and then I'm going to apply them on. I've got some glue stick here. You can use whichever one you like. I'm using Yahoo glue, and that always seems to work quite nicely for me. The washi tape does come with a sort of sticky back to it, but it may lift off, especially on this canvas board, so I'm not going to chance it, and I will use the glue stick. So just move these round and then we'll carry on with the demonstration. So now I'm going to start putting together the stripes of the washi tape, and just to save time, what I've done is in the interim period of the last bit of the video and now, I've decided what washi tape colours I'm going to use. So I'm going to carry on now and apply the washi tape. I'll put some glue down as well, just to make sure that it actually adheres as best as it can to the canvas board. And in this case I'm using Yoo-Hoo glue or the glue stick. You can use whichever glue stick you're happy with, and so I'm going to carry on doing that. What I might do if it's taking a long time is to put a little bit of music on, and I will sort of check, I will check in every now and again just to tell you if there's something you need to know. But in the meantime, I'll just carry on and stick these down. So let's get started. Just need to try and butt this up against the washi tape above it. It's a little bit difficult to see here because I'm sitting away from the canvas. Usually I would sort of look over it and make sure that it's nice and straight and there isn't any gaps, but it's difficult to do while I'm filming. I thought this one was rather nice. Whoop, there you go, see, it needs to come off. Put some more glue on. I actually put white gesso on this as well, so it should be a little better for the glue to latch onto. I think when you're doing this you might feel as though it's just going to be a hot mess, but once you get your tree or whatever you're going to put on, it just transforms it. So don't be too off-put as you're putting your various different pieces of washi tape down. Just go with your gut feeling. Try to get that kind of looking like that. It's okay. I think many of us, if we're crafting quite a lot, we have lots of supplies that we buy and think, oh, I'm going to do something really spectacular with that, and then it sits in your cupboard for years before you come up with any ideas of what you're going to do with it. And I think this is a a good idea for washi tape. But I've also got another idea for those of you who haven't got washi tape or really don't want to buy it. So that's going to be in the next video. So I'll give you more details about that at the end of this tutorial. If you can see, I'm trying to go in kind of bands of not contrasty colours, but sort of harmonising colours, going sort of from blues through light colours. I think you can see the example here. It's obviously nothing real, but it does have the feeling of a sky and then some sort of vegetation and a kind of a village feel there, and then the ground, but you know, that just could be me. It could just be me reading that into it. So you do you do exactly what you feel as though you want it to look like, or it can be totally abstract. It doesn't really matter. You could use Mod Podge here or any of the gel mediums to put the washi tapes down. It really doesn't matter what you use as long as you're happy with it and you don't have to go out and buy anything new. All of these washi tapes or this kind of washi tape can be bought quite off of Amazon, so wherever you are in the world, I'm sure you'll be able to buy something similar. We just put a very, oh dear me, sorry. In the previous videos I have said that I'm extremely clumsy, so I do apologise. I think I'm too old not to be clumsy now. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just make sure that these are all straight-ish and press down so there's no wrinkles. I'll do that, and then once it's dry I'm going to put a layer of gel medium over the top so that when I paint on it you're not going to get it all this kind of bubbling, and the paint doesn't sort of adhere to it correctly. It tends to sort of go into little tiny globules. So I've found that if you put a gel medium on top, I'll show you which ones I'm going to use once I've decided which one to use. I'll do that, and then once that's dry I'll come back to you and we can carry on painting the trees. So just see how quick and easy that was. I'm trying to get that in focus for you. So yeah, that's the sticking down of the washi tape. So I'll be right back once this is dried. So I've quickly put another collage together. I've done this one, and what I wanted it to feel like was more of a kind of wintry feel. So I've used the same method. I've put the washi tape on, but it looks a little bit more wintry to me. I've done it very quickly. Instead of painting it, this time I've used a felt tip pen, a Pentel permanent marker N860, and it was just really the first pen that I picked up. As long as you're going to use a good quality pen, and if you want to go over it with anything else, any watercolours or anything, I would recommend that you use a permanent marker. So that's another one that I've put together. I'm trying to sort of get a set of images, maybe going from winter to spring, but I've not really decided as yet. But that's just something I've been working on whilst the canvas is drying. So here's the canvas now that we're working on, and we've got the washi tape on, and it's almost dry. I can totally understand how you would be nervous about going onto the washi tape and canvas with either a paint or a permanent marker. You paid out to buy the canvas or the card, whatever you're going to use, and you've also put your layers of washi tape on, and obviously that all comes at a cost. So I can understand the reluctance of not wanting to, you know, spoil it by putting your tree or whatever it is that you're going to put on top of the washi tape. So here's a few ideas for you. What you could use is some tracing paper and put it on top, and then draw your tree on top of the tracing paper. The problem with that, as I see it, is, well, you can't see where it is underneath, where it's actually going to lie. So although if you've got tracing paper, or this is deli paper or some sort of soft tissue paper, you can use that, but I chose to do a different method. What I got was one of these page dividers, and I just cut it up so that I ended up with a clear piece of plastic, which was like this. I hope you can see that. I laid it on top of my little collage, and then I drew the trees on top, and that way I can see whether or not I like the design, and then I can follow that as a kind of template. It is a sort of an idea for you, so that you just don't go in cold and then decide that you don't like the pattern that you've produced. So that is what it's going to look like. So my next bit of this project will be to get either my permanent marker and reproduce this, or get my paintbrush and black gesso paint and paint over it. So I'll make that decision, and then I'll come back to you and show you what happens next. I forgot to tell you that I use the Liquitex gloss gel to brush over the top, just a very thin coating of it. I've used the gloss gel because it doesn't dull the colours down. It depends on whether or not you want a matte finish or a gloss finish at the end when you've finished your piece, but you can put a matte gel on top of the gloss gel, so don't worry about it being kind of glossy if you don't want it glossy, but that tends not to dull the lovely colours here on the washi tape. I've decided that I'm going to go with my permanent marker, and I'm going to have a look at this, put it at the side here, and I'm going to do my best to reproduce what I can see here. I'm not going to do it exactly, but I can see where the lines are going to be, so that's what I'm going to do now. So hold your breath, fingers crossed. I think you could do exactly the same with a brush if you feel more confident with a brush, but I'm just showing you an alternative to using a brush and gesso paint. So yeah, I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to move that to one side. Obviously it's not the same, but it's the same feeling. I can let that dry, or I will let that dry, and I'm going to put another coat on top of it, but there it is at the moment. I haven't seen anybody demonstrate this. I'm not saying for one moment that there isn't somebody out there that's uploaded this idea, but I honestly haven't seen it. So if somebody has already done it, then I apologise for not mentioning them, but I honestly have not seen it being demonstrated. But I don't feel for one moment that I'm the only person who's ever done this. But this is my version of how to use washi tape. So I'm going to finish this off after the marker and the gloss gel has properly dried. So I'll leave it for a little while and then I'll come back and show you the finished article and tell you about the more exciting videos that are going to be coming up soon, using the same method to make but a different type of collage. So I'll see you in a few minutes. So now the collage is finished. I don't think I want to add any more to it. I want to seal it now, and there's various different methods of doing that. I can continue with the gloss medium, which I've already put on, but if I didn't want to have a glossy finish, I could put a matte gel on it. So that would be an option. If I wanted it to be really, really, really matte, I could put an ultra matte medium on it. So there's sort of 3 Liquitex options. I could also spray it with a fixative spray. This is usually for pencils and pastel and things like that, but a fixative spray would work quite nicely over this. But what I thought I would do would be to show you this. You may or may not have used it yourself, but there's a company called Deco Art, and it's a thick triple thick, dear me, a triple thick, brilliant brush on gloss glaze, which is really difficult for somebody like me who's got dyslexia to actually read through all that. So it's triple thick, brilliant brush on gloss glaze. So I'm going to do that now, and then we'll have a look at it when it's finished, and it leaves a very, very, very shiny surface. It's really rather nice, and I thought I would show you this because you're probably familiar with all the other products. So I shall put this on, and then I'll come back to you when it's dried and we can see how shiny it is. Okay? I'll get on with it now then. So here it is finished, and by using this triple thick brilliant brush on gloss glaze, it gives a really clear finish. It's a little bit like having resin without the terrible smell and the sort of trial and tribulation of trying to apply it. So I'm really happy with that, and you could put it into a nice frame for a bit of wall art, or you could actually just put it into your scrapbook. It depends, whatever you want to do. You can give it away as a nice little gift to a loved one. So that's the rectangular version, and obviously we have these. Whoops. Oh, there you go. And again, these can go into a frame. I think they look rather nice framed. It just finishes them off, I think. You can choose whichever mount you want to use, but that's a little idea for you to have a go at. If you have got plenty of washi tape and you don't really know what to do with it, so I hope you enjoyed that, and I'd love to hear your comments, and I'd be very grateful for you to subscribe. And I'm going to carry on and do lots more tutorials of things to do with collage, washi tapes and all other supplies you might have in your stash. So thanks again, and I'm looking forward to sharing more information with you.